Kyle, service rep with Polaris. Today we're going to show you how to do some scheduled maintenance on your Ranger XP 1000. So we've got our Polaris maintenance kit here, AGL, angle drive fluid, demand drive fluid, and grease come in this kit. We've also got a gallon of our Polaris antifreeze. So we're going to show you how to check the coolant level, check and inspect the front and rear gear case fluid level. We're going to change a belt. We're going to inspect the tire pressure, and we are going to replace an air filter. So I've got my gloves on, got safety glasses on, always wear those. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is check our coolant level. So we'll remove the hood. Coolant bottle's right here. This vehicle is cold, and we have our antifreeze reading right to the max cold line. If it gets down to or below the min line here, then that's when we'd want to add our Polaris 50/50 premixed antifreeze. This one is in the right spot, so we'll reinstall the hood. Now we're going to check the air pressure on the tires, so we'll remove the valve stem cap. Check the pressure. This one's right where we want it. Now most tires are going to have a max operating pressure written on the tire, but check your owner's manual for your specific application. Another good preventative item is to use Polaris Premium Tire Sealant. This helps seal the tires in case of a puncture when you're out on the trail, and it won't leave you stranded. Now we're going to check the other 3 tires. Next, we will remove and inspect our air filter. So we'll release the clamps, completely remove the airbox cover. This has a seal on it. Inspect this to make sure that it's making good contact and replace if needed. We'll remove our air filter. We'll inspect this for any excessive dirt, if there's tears in the filter material or dings or damage to the filter body. Before we reinstall this filter, we want to check the air box to make sure that the ducting is clear and wipe it down if it's dirty or wet. Reinstall the filter. And then we'll reinstall the box cover. Next, we're going to inspect the rear gear case fluid. So we'll remove the plug. And check the fluid level. The fluid on this should be to the bottom of the threads. If you need to add more, use Polaris AGL. You can use a flexible funnel or a Mighty Vac available at most hardware stores to help fill the fluid. This one looks to be good, so we'll reinstall the plug and then torque to spec. Now we're going to check the fluid level on our front gear case. This is best done with a long extension and an Allen bit. So we'll remove the plug. If you do need to add fluid, use Polaris demand drive fluid. And where you want the level to be is right to the bottom of the threads. This one looks to be good, so we're going to reinstall the plug and we'll torque to spec. So now that we've removed the 9 8mm bolts around the diameter of the clutch cover, we're going to start taking the cover off. This can be a little tricky, especially for the first time when you're doing it. So what you want to do is move the clutch cover all the way to the front as far as you can. Take the bottom and clear the A-arm, and then twist it out. So now we have the clutch cover off, and we're going to take the belt off and inspect it. This Ranger has a special tool that's in your toolkit that helps make it easier to remove the belt. So there's a threaded hole on the secondary clutch. Thread this in, and you'll feel it grab and start spreading the clutch sheaves apart. There you go. Just keep tightening this up until we're almost out of threads. You'll see the belt start to loosen. And we can grab the bottom of the belt, start working it off to the outside of the clutch. Remove it from the primary and inspect the belt. So when we're inspecting the belt, you want to look for hourglassing, glazing, or any cuts or tears in the belt. This one looks to be in good shape. When we reinstall it, we want to make sure that Polaris is readable as you go back onto the clutch. So now to reinstall the belt, slide it over the primary clutch, start working it around the secondary, just like that. And then we can start removing the tool. And then spin the clutch to get the belt back up on the top of the sheaves. Next, we'll reinstall the clutch cover by reversing the procedure we did to take it off. Once the clutch cover is back on, reinstall the 9 8mm fasteners and torque them to spec. Now we're done with all of our scheduled maintenance, so we're ready to get back out and ride. If you have any other questions or need some more information, check out PolarisLubricants.com.